Actually, where we're sitting here is the original farm that got homesteaded back in, what did you tell me, Adam?
1856, and we're sitting on the original 100 acres that they homesteaded. They immigrated from Ireland and decided this looked a lot like home, so that's where we ended up at.
Back when I started farming, we used to disc everything and chisel plow. Anything that was going to corn got chisel plowed normally. We pretty much tilled everything back in early 80s. We wanted to decrease the erosion on the farm further, and we wanted to, increase our water percolation rates and our water holding capacity, which all that stuff all is basically one thing.
I had a professor in college, and he had a slide up there showing pretty much the degradation of nutrient value of corn over the last 40 years at this point, and how it used to be, pretty much how a conventional corn is compared to the nutrient value of GMO corn. Just pretty much just showed the difference between starch and protein values and stuff, and you're thinking, what's going on with this? And that, it just kind of snowballed from there.
Since we feed a lot of what we grow, then our animals will be healthier, and we eat the meat out of those animals, so hopefully we'll be healthier too. Bring it around full circle to where, the animals are healthy, people are healthier, and soil's healthier.
I think it'd be pretty cool to drink the water straight out of your tile outlets. We kind of been doing cover crops pretty intensively the last 3 years, I'd say. It used to start just for erosion control, but now it's came along into everything else, and we're learning how to mix some cocktails up for what we want to do and how we want to approach things.
We quit using anhydrous ammonia about, has it been 6 or what did we decide, 7 years ago? So we that was kind of our turning point, 7 years ago when we decided we were going to quit using anhydrous because of its effect on the soil. Now that we've started introducing the extract and stuff, I think we're gonna be able to turn that ground around, even faster, because we were kind of stalled out. Giving up anhydrous ammonia on a clay soil is a tough thing to do, but I do think we're almost there now. I think we're getting really close. The interest to produce our own extract came from, the fact that we knew that from soil testing that we didn't have the biology in the soil. There's hardly any protozoa in our soil. We're lacking fungi.
Our first PLFA test from Regen was a 1 to 50 bacterial fungi ratio, which is actually pretty good, if we're starting out. But I'd credit that a lot to what we kind of been doing the last 5 years or so. But the last year's ones, they just kind of keep improving. As far as creating your own extract and stuff, a big part of that is finding the microorganisms that are suited to your region, that are found here.
So if you can use your microbes from your area, you're going to be better off in the long run. And usually bugs that come in a jug ain't nearly as powerful as what you can usually make.
We had some trouble last year with Goss's wilt and tar spot over a fair amount of our acres, probably 2/3 actually. This year, the only thing that we changed was putting the extract in and a couple other things. It didn't completely eliminate it, but it got to the point where the plants were standing stronger and would fight it off and would dry down. It took less time for them to dry down. They didn't die off. Especially what I've been seeing, locally around here, neighboring fields and stuff, they've stayed greener longer, and we didn't have any fungicide on or nothing like that, that they push. But you can tell the difference when you get in the combine or the chopper, we've been real happy with it. It's turning around.
But it helps. We've been prepping for a live bacteria, fungi, and protozoa for the last several years. So we've seen a pretty good sized yield response, you know, this first year getting the live stuff back into the soil. But so far our stalks on our corn have been healthier, they've been staying greener longer, and we've been really happy with what we've been doing so far. And there's a few other guys that sell some bugs in the jugs, and they call us nuts, but I mean, but
they're selling bugs too.
they're trying to sell the same thing that we're trying to make.
I think our yields are going to improve. Our crops, especially our corn, looked so much better than it has in the past. I think it looked so much healthier than, we had some areas that weren't quite perfect, but we had a lot of it that was just pretty darn good looking stuff. We definitely kept the disease pressure down. That was a huge thing.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, because you're going to be constantly learning all the time.
Patience. What doesn't work the first year might work the second year, because everything changes.
No 2 years are ever the same.
Yeah.
Don't treat the soil as a growing medium for plants. There's more stuff going on down there than there is up top.
Well, and then a lot of the comments I'll get is, well, you try it out, and once you get it all figured out, let me know how it works. So, I mean, because there's risk involved. I mean, if they're your farm, your money, your livelihood, I mean, there's a lot of risk. I mean, if you go out and plant a cover crop and change your whole scheme, I mean, you could lose half of your bushels, and that's a lot of money out of your back pocket. And that's a huge reason, a huge hurdle why people don't just jump full step into it. And so baby steps are the key. Slowly work your way into it, you know, figure out how it stays profitable for you, and you'll slowly see the results over time. I mean, as far as jumping head first into it, it's hard to tell you to do that, because I mean, definitely be a scary thing financially, but you can see the benefits over the years, so just take the steps.
There's not a whole lot of familiarity with protozoa and fungi and bacteria and stuff. And that really throws people for a loop when you tell them that, you know, this is kind of what's your driving force for all your nutrient movement and everything.
Because it used to be what's in your soil. Do you have the nitrogen? Do you have the phosphorus? Do you have the micronutrients? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's, you know, even farther below that or above that, whatever you want.
They told you at school that it was all mass flow through water. That's how everything moved. But that's not the case. It was just kind of a big learning curve and a completely different mindset on what you know you'd ever talked about or what you ever learned. And I mean, no matter what it was, you know, you totally had to shift your mind into thinking a different way on it. And if it didn't work, I mean, you just had to totally correct what you were doing and just think about it. I mean, we never had a deal where we did something the first year and we go, oh, you know, it was a huge success. That never happened. I mean, we've had a lot of bites in the butt for sure, but this stuff we first tried, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, we kind of got that down, and the stuff that we tried for the first time this year, I'm sure we'll have it down in 3 years or so. Well, it'll probably take longer than that, but I mean, it just a totally different deal, and there's just not a whole lot of people that are doing it. So you don't really have a lot of people you can talk to or call up on the phone that's, hey, I want to run this by you. But
not anybody local. We don't have a local mentor.
We just kind of got the mindset that this is the way we're going to go, and we got to figure it out.